Now, the other time we created a project. Is it through VS Code? We created the project. Or is it VS Code? I want to see the name of the project because I can't. Is it to do? No, it's not to do. It's not this one. Is it Django project? Are you sure? Tax schedule. Are you sure? Okay. I think this is it. So where is this project located? Under download Python training tax schedule. Let me open the project from. Man, I love to use IntelliJ. I'm looking for download. Is it Django or Python? Python training tax schedule. Let's open this now. Alright. So when you look at this, we talked about you understand that when you create a project, let me choose a Python interpreter for it. Python. When you create a project, normally your project will have you can start the project. From the project, you create an app. Each of the module represent what application. We created a project, we call it what tax schedule, and I explained to you that we have a global settings here where you do all sorts of configuration. And what we talked about, we created another app called what entrance, and I told you that for this app to work, you need to come to the list of installed apps, then add the app there so that you'll be able to run it. And then for you to be able to access it, the app, you need to come under the URL here so that you include all the URL of the what of the app. So and in the app, you always have a URL that you define in this pattern that will have all this. So immediately you add it to the settings, Django will take care of it so that it will create a URL for all this. Where you can go ahead and say add a start here. So it's equally the same thing so that it will import everything in this file. It recognize all this. You understand? So, and I told you as well that if you want to, uh, how do we, if you look at this our view, the view we have under here, you see how we send data to the what? The template. But most of the data you see, they are just get request. You understand? That we send to the what? Template. And you see how we get the template, we pass data to the template. Likewise, you can equally you can equally have an array of the data and send it to the what? To the template. This is how you get a template. You use a template loader to get a template, which means that from here, each of the app will have a template. And I show you that if it is under profile, it's going to be profile slash so that you'll be able to forward to the what template. And you pass this data to the what template. using HTTPS or template dot what render. This is the data. You are rendering this data and you pass the what the request to it so that you're able to render it. So that you will get this. Mm. So that is just the summary. Today we are going to talk about how you interact with your form. You understand how you interact with your form. And if you send data from the form, there are ways we are going to get it from here. You understand? So we have two type of requests we'll be making use of. We have the post request, we have the get request. Majority of these requests, when you direct, you say still responded, you are moving user to this page, which is what we get request. Let's say py manage.py run server. I think I'm running it. What is it? No, we have not done any activation. Let's go by visiting this. I think we don't have this. Let's say login. I think we have login. Do we have okay? We have entrance. I need to say entrance login. We have our login page. So if you want to access any other one, you want to access any other one, entrance login, which means you go by this URL, right? Login. Uh, let's say uh, create account. Why we do okay? Do we have something on page? But it's giving one error. Okay, if I press entrance, okay. So now there are cases where you want to submit your form from that place down here. So let me give you an example. We have what we call Django model. You can create your model. If you look at here now, we are not going into the model for now. We want to go into the what? The form. So let's go to the Django, but notwithstanding here, let's let's create our forms here. So let me say forms.py. So forms.py. Let's create a class. Let's say uh, login form dot form. I'm going to import this from Django.forms. So a Django has a form that we can use to build our form. You get it? You can use it in such a way that we use it to get our form. So we want to use manual process to get all the form word elements. You get it? So we use this one to extract the data from the form. For example, let's say our login we have a username. I can say okay, I can say user uh, name is equal to I can just say form dot what I can say okay, my username is we can have we have different kind of we have text area, we have date field, we have text text field. You understand? You get what I'm saying? But there are cases whereby you don't. If you look at these examples here, you can have say character field. You understand? You can say it's email field if you want to pass email. So I can say okay, it is a character field. I have to specify maximum. I need to specify the maximum length. Maybe it to be something of equal to, let's say, 50. Maybe your username will not be, let's say, password, but a form that you can actually make it to be what counterfeit. Let's say 128. This is our form. You understand? This is our what? Our form. Which means that if you have a form that you design, let me copy example of a form here. So, so if you are now working, if you want to work with Django model, Django form, there are two ways to it. You see now we created we used to have a get request, we have what post what request. So let me take you like if it is post request, it means that you want to save, you want to submit the form. But if it is get request, that means you just want to display the what the form. That's why you see that they have something like this. You create a form and then you attach it to instead of you get your template, you can actually render to this. But we are not going to deal with that. Let's create a form. Let's go ahead to add a form to our home page. Where's our home page? Home. Let me say page to registration form, right? So that means we are going to say the method is what? Post. And if I did not specify the action, which is the URL to post it to, so it will post it to this same page itself. You understand? It will post it to this entrance itself if I did not specify the word action. So in the home, we used to have two type of requests. I mean, we used to have two type of requests in any form element. Is either the request is what post, or the request is get, or the request is what put. At times, the request may be delete. So let's go to our view where we have home. Here we only handle one type of request, which is what get. That's why we just render to. We can say if request.method is equal to post, we want to do something else. You understand? We can now say else working on post. Let's see. We say it will still forward those to what here. So if we do run server and we try to reload the page like this, you see it still forward us here. You understand? But you see a form submit button, but there is no form data there. So we need to pass our form to here. That's an example of a Django form. So all you need to do is now we now need to say form is equal to login form. So we have login form that we created in our form here. So you need to now import it because this thing helps to import a lot. It helps in code completion. That is why I normally stick to it to use it for anything I want to do. You see how they pass the form, they pass the request, contact, and then we pass this. This is just like if you want to pass data into it here, we get it the same way where we pass data into here. You understand? So we can just say form is equal to, and you pass a request to it, which means it's going to okay. Do you get it? You see, it's telling us because that form does not exist that time. The module Django form has no attribute chart field. What does? What do you say? No, this is just a post. We are coming to handle the post. It's telling us that a module doesn't have a form. Let me see what from Django import form. Sorry, we made mistake. We're supposed to import in our form. I'm tired today from Django import form. You understand? We can say you say password input. You understand? I can say text input. Let's try to see whether it will load. Can you see it now? So if we go back to our page and we try to do our form. So our form did not come out. Let's say you see file path field, you see path text input field, hidden input field. Let's make it to be chart field so that we'll be able to see. So by the time we now load our form, we say, okay, this form should enter where we are not handling post, we are handling what get for now. So that we say form is equal to this, we send it to the form, we render this and this. Our form supposed to display. Mm. This is the form. You understand? So when we now submit this form, if we specify that uh, uh, method, I mean, we specify that actions will represent the URL to post with it. You understand? Maybe create account. So that means if create account exists, you forward it to what? Create account. You understand? But if you do not specify anything, it's going to post to that same page itself. That is why we need to undo what we call. There is a particular method we use, but we are coming there. That's why we need to undo what we call post. So how do we get the data that you enter into the form? You understand? If you want to get the data, you can create a form. You say form is equal to login form. You now say request, sorry. You now say request dot what? Post. So it will take all the stuff. Let's try to print it out. Form dot then there is a way we get the data. Is it if it is this is validated field, this one is not validated field. You can check if it is what valid, and then you can now begin to interact with the data. Let me see valid. We don't want to save form dot clean data. So you can check if the form is valid. Say if this form if this form is valid, the other side I can print a form dot clean data into, I can say it's username, right? Username and on dot clean data into password. So it will get the password for you. But notwithstanding, I can actually, let's try get the template. You understand? I can actually return this. That means I need to say um, so that it will return empty for now. It will still take us back to the what? Do you understand what we're saying? Ordinarily, I supposed to save it to the database, but I don't want to save. I just want to print it. Then I will return it. Yeah. I will return the stuff. If it is valid, I can return it. If it is not valid, I will still need to return the form, whether it is valid or it is not valid. Do you get it? Let's see. What it gave us so that and then let's submit. To see come here. Do you know why it came back here? You see, it printed this to me. You understand? Because we redirected back to, if you want to redirect back to another file, you can do that. But we actually get the what? The data here. Do you get it? This is one way to create the what? The form. You manually create the form, and as when we want to save the form into database, you can just use form.org save. So it will save it into the what? Database. Do you get it? But right now we are not saving. We just want to test something. Now let's do. This is how we. Let's do something. Let's create an account. You understand? Uh, Django has a way where we'll be able to create an account to manage the account. Let's create an account, because if you come here now, if you come here, the database we are using now is SQLite, which means it is located here. You can't say the here except it is encrypted, is located here. You understand? If you want to see it, there is a way we actually access it. There is a way we actually access it. You can actually access the SQLite database. You understand? It is located there. I have to join the meeting now. What you will need to go and do is go and create a form, a registration form. But I have, let me stop there.